We are Prophet.
And you are watching
Z191TV.
With Prophet, as interviewed by an unseen, omniscient narrator.
Uh-oh.
Now, once again, Prophet, you've done this before, but once again, introduce yourselves, your name, and your instrument.
Not the flashlight.
My name is Tracy Sin. I play the bass.
His name is Tracy Sin, he plays the bass.
Jamie Moon, drums.
Jamie Moon, drums.
Scott, guitar.
Scott, guitar. Now, we talked about you have a very wild rock and roll
Keep going.
sound.
No.
You have a very wild rock and roll sound. Sorry. You have a very wild...
Cut! Try.
My bass.
We're not gonna do that.
He's Jamie Moon, he plays drums.
I just confused.
And he still plays the guitar.
He's Scott Glasso, he's the man with the vocals and the guitar.
And the message.
It's Galasso. Thank you very much, God.
It's Galasso.
Glasso.
We always say
Galasso.
We call him Glass.
Now,
Glasshole.
you three have a sound reminiscent of rock, punk, funk, hardcore, and metal. At times compared to Rage Against the Machine, although you have a sound that is very different from theirs. You said you appeal equally to punks and metalheads.
Correcto.
I feel like I should be on my knees while I'm answering this.
Maybe you should be.
Yes, Lord.
I do. I mean, sorry.
Whoa. Oh, yeah, we just, play a lot of different styles, and we've had a lot of love thrown our way from the metal crowd and the punk crowd. So, thank you, everyone, for that.
There really aren't any other crowds, though, really, are there? There's not like
Yeah,
a hard rock
there's the
crowd or-
hipsters.
Are the
Hipsters.
metal people?
Hipsters are fans of...
The metal people are not going, yeah,
I don't even really know
man.
what
This, this is new metal. You don't get that, right?
No,
You don't.
no, God.
None of
No
us
one
can
confuses
really
us
rap,
with Limp Bizkit.
so-
We're good.
You don't tune to be. That's what it's all
We get
about.
away with not being Limp Bizkit.
Do you break things?
My dad's calling.
Let's say hi to Dad. Tell Dad.
Yes, so say hi to him.
Can we introduce Scott's dad?
Hey, Faja.
Hello?
Ask him what it was like raising Scott.
I'm actually being kind of interviewed on the internet radio.
Hello.
thing.
Hello.
And you're on the microphone right now.
Say hi, Dad.
Say hi, Dad.
We're talking to God.
He said, I'm your father.
What?
Put him on speaker.
Alright, love you. Bye.
Opted out,
He said,
I
I'm your
guess.
father.
Musically, what are your influences?
Musically, for me, is just about everything. I study music pretty much, so... I don't
Dragon Force,
Yeah, pretty much. Just
Cyndi Lauper.
all different styles, different techniques and stuff.
Juice Newton.
Maybe
I love Cyndi
Scott
Lauper.
would want to add to that, or...
I love Cyndi Lauper.
Deborah Harry. Harry Deborah.
I
Carry
like
on.
Van Morrison a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He's good.
Brown Eyed Girl.
And Into the Mystic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great song.
What about Lou Reed?
Yeah.
Where's Lou Reed?
Reed, man.
But
Rest in peace, homie.
Yeah. He's,
seriously, though, I think I like Dinosaur Jr.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
And for a long time, I liked the Smashing Pumpkins. I still do like old Smashing Pumpkins stuff. I don't necessarily like Billy Corgan now.
Not too sure about whatever Smashing Pumpkins turned into.
Yeah, Tool's good. The Manchester Orchestra. I dig those guys a lot.
How
those
about the
everything
Trans-Siberian
I hear is
Orchestra?
influential. Even Lady Gaga's influential.
I knew a guy who played bass for those.
Oh, you know a guy who played bass for the Trans-Siberian Orchestra?
Was he in Sabotage?
Was he in Sabotage?
I don't know. I don't think so.
You guys really should cover Sabotage. Listen to the Dead Winter
don't even
Dead
know
album.
what
Boys?
Sabotage is.
Sabotage.
Listen, all of y'all, this is
Sabotage.
Sabotage!
That's what I was thinking.
No,
That'd be an awesome
AKA the
song.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
They play
At
good
one
Christmas
time,
music.
yes, at one time, they spun off from the heavy metal band Savatage with a V. And you guys kind of sound like Savatage, circa the Dead Winter Dead album. You might
I'll
want to
check
hear
them out.
Oh yeah, well, kind of in a sort of a Broadway heavy metal way.
Broadway heavy metal.
You know, yes.
So if okay.
But are there any particular favorite bands that you think shape the sound that you have?
I think we all have very vastly different favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't even necessarily play favorites, but I guess favorite would be Bob Marley or something, you know? Like, I'm sure we all have very
Got it,
different
got it.
favorites
Right.
that we listen to.
I know
But
when
when it
Meat,
comes
yes.
to, when it all comes together, who knows, you know what I mean?
But when Meatloaf was asked what album changed his life, he said, "I don't think there exists such an animal."
Yeah, I can kind of agree
So
with that.
Pink
It's all a
Floyd's
collective
album,
thing.
Animals, changed his life. That's
Metal.
what he's saying.
Maybe. Wow. So many animals in this
Code
place.
words.
That's Preston
That's a
Swift.
good album. Code words.
That might have done it. So you guys basically, you take the influences that come to you. It's like David Parks would say, you take it right from the air, from the trees, you put it into your sound, and the way it comes out is profit.
Yeah, that's what we're going for. I mean, you know, we're all like
good.
the 90s era. We grew up, we love all the 90s
I guess that's
music.
key.
How old are you guys?
You know?
I just turned 25.
25, okay. Mm-hmm.
I'm working on 33.
I'm 33 right now. So, we were all,
He's 30.
he's 30, okay. Right,
So you guys
so
grew
like-
up, so you guys grew up in the
I'm
80s almost.
35. I just
We,
turned 35 a couple days ago.
Yeah, you
I
know.
said, I thought you were in your 40s.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my
Most
God.
people do.
We
Yes.
like our grunge. And
Mm-hmm.
we like it dirty. And, you know,
Oh, yeah.
Noisy.
Harry.
I was just getting very nostalgic for the year 1994 over this weekend. Not sure what prompted it. I had some stupid nostalgic dream, but that's getting pointless.
You knew we were coming, so you were
Yes.
getting in the mood.
So I thought about the year 1994. But yes, if anything, I see an Orwellian vision. I'm thinking 1984.
Failure is
it's
a great
exactly-
band.
Failure.
And people
Failure.
think
Fans of
cool.
Failure.
And they just reunited.
Helmet.
Yeah.
Also,
Helmet.
also back on
Shout out
tour,
Helmet.
which we just played
Mhm.
We did play a Helmet song today.
FBLA.
Oh, okay. Right, I know, yes, they've been sort of back for a while. Your contribution left unnoticed, so... I love giving that guy a Cockney accent when I sing Helmet, even though he never had one.
I think they were actually on. They did a tour in Australia with the Melvins. Just
Yes, they did.
So
They had John
Another-
Yes, they
Tempesta on
did.
drums a little while ago.
another influential
The
band.
Melvins just played in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of
So,
Wow.
all on
Drug-Free
Big
Mondays
Cat
is a
Records.
big
Drug-Free
influence.
Mondays rocks!
Yeah.
CFM.
Shout out to those guys.
Shout out to
Now,
Jeff.
as far, what do you guys, we talked about your recording. Where are you next playing?
Our next show is the
November
29th at
Jabberjaws.
Jabberjaws in Allentown.
The day
I
after
just played
Thanksgiving.
there. I just played, that's a nice place.
Yeah, they're really all about
Wow.
the music there too. So
God's been the Jabberjaws.
God has been the Jabberjaws.
Kevin's been just opened up a Global Stream there, so.
God's
Yeah,
every turn of
yes.
Jabberjaws
Well,
on the 29th.
Apocryphy.
That's the day after Thanksgiving, right?
That'll be Black
Yeah, we've done
Friday.
step 13.
Step 13.
So we'll be playing with half of
appropriate that we
Apocryphy.
play on
Yes,
Black
Apocryphy's over, unfortunately.
There's a few other bands too.
Shout out to Lance.
Good.
What other local bands do you like playing with?
Every single local band.
I've noticed in smaller cities, the local music scene is more connected than it is in a metropolis this size of Philly, where there's 5 metal shows, 5 punk shows, 25 whatever shows going on a month, and you left this state where people don't know each other. I've noticed smaller cities like, for instance, Reading, Allentown, Pittston, or if anything better for cultivating a scene and getting to know people. Would you say that? Have you built a Pocono, Bethlehem scene?
Everybody loves us, but they're afraid to play with us
Uh-huh.
because we always show them up.
You always show them up?
But no, seriously, there's
Ooh, that sounds like a
scene
challenge.
in the
Yeah.
area that we've seen. You know, like
Everybody just everybody plays with each other.
Mhm.
Because there's only a few places to play. You know.
Yes.
That's
I've
There's only a
noticed
few
that.
bands that sound different.
Yeah, like if you're a cover band, you can play hundreds of places, but
Yes.
as an original band, there's really a
Yeah.
handful of places to play in any 25-mile radius.
Right,
From
that's
you.
what I see. Smaller cities, they don't have as many venues,
Yeah.
but when you do get in those venues, is much more of a sort of walk-in or local crowd. I have
Right,
seen those from
yeah.
time to time.
Yeah, and the same people go to see a lot of the same bands too. So.
You guys hang out in the Poconos a lot?
You live there.
Nah, mainly just
In the
Bethlehem,
studio.
In the
yeah.
studio.
We don't go out that much.
No one likes to hang out in the Big Bass Lake in the Poconos, because no one's heard of it.
Yeah, well, we don't really fish.
Well, there's no fishing to be done there, I don't think.
There's no fishing to be done at Big Bass.
I guess I've never really heard of it.
Exactly, never heard of it until now. That proves how small the town's probably the size of Ballackinwood,
It's
is
a
what I
mudhole.
imagine. So if you don't live within 5
That's
minutes
how you
of it.
pronounce this town? Ballackinwood?
Ballackinwood
Yeah.
is Welsh, yes. There's a bunch of streets that don't have any vowels at all in them.
Way off.
What do you got?
Try ordering
Ballackinwood?
Chinese food from the side
Sorry.
road.
Or something?
I went to Ballackinwood Middle School.
You got kicked out, didn't you?
No, I finished Ballackinwood. I got kicked out of the Catholic school in the first grade. I finished public middle school. It was fun.
I got kicked out of Catholic school in 10th grade.
What did you do to
I
get
was
kicked
only
out?
there
Okay.
for one marking period.
What did you do to get kicked out of Catholic school?
Me or him?
No, him.
Me?
No.
Showed him his penis.
No, him. Scott.
Seriously?
Scott. Yeah, I want to know because we have an ongoing story about this.
Alright. Well, you know how they have those candles all over the place in the big glass candles?
The cheaper ones you get at at the
I
corner
guess.
store.
They're like a foot tall.
Well, yeah, with like a Jesus on them and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like this.
so God is not in Catholic school anywhere or in anywhere in Catholic religion. But anyway, so I was being brainwashed into a Wednesday mass, and yeah, I took a piece of paper and I put it on top of the candles, and there was a little fire.
Why did you put the paper on top of the candles? To start the fire? Or?
No, put the fire out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we want to put the fire. He would like the eternal flame of Catholic. Oh, so you tried to put out the magic candles instead you created a magic fire.
Is this
Was it a holy flame?
eternal flame?
This is
You're gonna burn in hell.
the first day I was at this school. I got 3 days out of school suspension for being off school property after school hours, and I was with a girl, 2 girls, and we were smoking a cigarette.
You're 3-way too. Okay.
And me and the one girl got out of school suspensions for smoking a cigarette. The other girl didn't get anything because she played softball for the guy who saw us.
Because you got caught off
And then
campus
so I
outside
told
of
the
school
teacher,
hours?
where he could put it, and then I got 2 more days out of school suspension.
Well, let me tell you what happened to me in Catholic school. It's a very good story to hear in echo effect. This is just one of the things I did in the first grade.
Throw turds.
No, better.
Monkey.
I had a teddy bear button.
A
I was in
what?
the first grade. I had a teddy bear button on my shirt, and this one 8th grade girl was talking to me. She had the same button.
Hold me up, I can't.
So she says, hey, I had that same button. So I don't know why I did this. I punched her
What?
right in the stomach with everything I had. I don't know why, it's just the only way.
It was a teddy bear button.
It was just the only way I
Can only be
could.
one.
I couldn't fathom there being 2. I had to have some reaction.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell us right about how you put the blanket over your head and walked across the table.
No, that was at camp. But anyway, at school, so she said to me, "Don't punch me." I guess she hit back. She wasn't hurt by it at all. I couldn't possibly hurt her. Nothing happened, but that was just one thing I did. I didn't even get in trouble for that. There were other things that I did, but that was just one. There was, yes, I shouldn't get into all that, but putting the towel over my head, climbing on top of the table and falling off the table was at the same place, but that was during summer camp.
So let me ask you a question there, Scott. Were you ever an altar boy?
No.
I was an older boy.
It never
I was
happened.
an older boy.
That explains so much.
So you don't have a complex about like why were you not molested? Were you not good enough?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Wobble. Yeah, I know why I wasn't molested.
Why?
Because I wasn't Jeff. I mean Tracy.
Oh. Or maybe your priest just didn't like doing those kinds of things.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't go to church. I just ended up having to go to Catholic school for one semester before I was done.
Before he
So, like,
tried to burn it down.
You know, every time my parents tried to take us to church once, I was maybe like, I don't know, 8 or 9, and we had to go to Sunday school. And we went, it was a non-denominational church.
Don't you love this on time about Jesus that are so denominational?
So we went there and we went to Sunday school, and Sunday school was over, and they handed around the basket. And my
You
brother
took the
and I
money.
didn't have any money, and the lady said, next time if we don't bring any money, don't bother to come at all. So that, and mixed with the
No
school
way.
getting suspended for smoking, when literally the priest would walk around with a cigar and a flask in his pocket, as they're giving me suspension for smoking a cigarette outside of school property,
Outside school, but
off of school.
after school hours.
After
Outside.
school.
That's so
And you
freaking.
transferred there
It was
in the
the
10th grade?
I guess you'd call it transferred. My parents kind of moved me over there. They thought it would be better for me because I was one of those bad skateboarders. Because, you know, those skateboarders were bad.
Were you a bad skateboarder or a bad dude on a skateboard?
Especially in Narberth.
No, bad skateboarder. Because all skateboarders in the 90s were bad, according to my school.
Especially Chuck Treese. He was the worst.
My friend tried to make he tried to build a sort of a skateboarding center over here, a little skateboarding rink, right over in this area. And he went on, and he talked about how, you know, a kid could walk down the street dribbling a basketball. No one notices. Kid walks down the street with a skateboard. That's a bad kid. He noticed that. He did what he could, but the skate park simply did not materialize. They had one in Havertown that's close enough to here.
Was this
Chuck Treese made the great one down in South Florida.
This would have been mid to late 90s.
Yeah, so pre-X Games, because really, I graduated high school and the X Games came around like 2 years later. And then that, all of a sudden, skateboarding was cool, and it was a thing to do, and nobody was bad if you rode a skateboard anymore. And if you don't ride a skateboard now in school, you're like a loser. But then, man, you were an outcast.
Well, okay.
Now
the
it's
skateboarders were not the
longboarding.
outcast. They
Now
were
it's
sort of the cool
longboarding.
people in middle school. The skateboarders were, from what I noticed, over in this area. They were the alternative cool group. Then all my friends started buying boards, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why are you guys all buying boards all of a sudden? And I almost got mad at them. I got mad, like, where the fuck did this come from? Why do you have to get on a board and start riding it if you didn't have to do that last month? Why? Why is that so essential right now? But I digress.
That was only because you couldn't skateboard, Kev.
Well, I tried getting on a board a couple of times because my one friend left his board in my garage for like 5 years. Maybe it's more like 10 years.